This is the iPhone 13 mini. The 15th major release of iPhone, fixing things like battery life from the iPhone 12 mini going to the 13 mini. And we can't forget about the improved 5G coverage. So was this really the biggest step up in Apple history? We're going to be finding out today. Featuring a new camera layout and a smaller notch. First, let's get the specs out of the way for the base model iPhones. So the base model iPhone 12 has the A14 Bionic chip, 4 gigs of RAM, a 12 megapixel camera, and a 2,815 mAh battery. 15-watt charging, both wireless and wired. Came starting with 64 gigabytes of storage and had a 6.1-inch OLED display. Now for the base model iPhone 13, this one has the A15 Bionic chip, still with 4 gigs of RAM, but with a 3,240 mAh battery, still with the same 15-watt wireless and wired charging, but the battery's improved, and the camera's still the same 12 megapixel camera and a 6.1-inch display. It's an OLED display, same as the iPhone 12, just with a smaller notch. The iPhone 12 and the iPhone 13 both have MagSafe. This is the entire iPhone 13 lineup. iPhone 13 base model, iPhone 13 mini, iPhone 13 Pro, and iPhone 13 Pro Max. Now for the color options, I'll put all of them on the screen now. But that still leaves the question, was the iPhone 13 series really a revolutionary and big step up from the iPhone 12 series? What do you think? It also really depends on how you're using the phone, because some people are going to use certain features more than other people, and so some upgrades may be good and some upgrades may be bad for people. It really depends how you are using the phone to see if those features are really an upgrade for you. Now I'm going to be breaking down the key differences to the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 13. This is just going to mainly be things that you will notice while you're using the phone. First, the battery life. The iPhone 13 series has a noticeably better battery life than the iPhone 12 series, which the base iPhone 13 will last up to 2.5 hours longer than the iPhone 12 would. When you're using the iPhone 13's camera in low light situations, it's going to do a lot better than the iPhone 12 camera. So let's say you're at a concert taking videos, you're going to get a lot better videos on the iPhone 13 than you will get on the iPhone 12. The iPhone 13 was also the first iPhone to feature cinematic mode. The iPhone 13 also had slightly better processing of images thanks to the newer hardware, which is the A15 Bionic chip, could process images better. It had the same size display, 6.1-inch Super Retina OLED display, but the iPhone 13, the screen gets a lot brighter, especially when you're outdoors. It can get up to 800 nits, while on the iPhone 12 it only got to 625 nits. The A15 Bionic chip is a lot more power efficient than the A14 Bionic chip, and it's slightly faster than the A14 Bionic chip. It's not crazy faster, but it's a pretty good improvement. And software support for the A15 Bionic chip, it's going to last a lot longer than the A14 Bionic chip. So the iPhone 13 is going to have longer software support than the iPhone 12 does. The iPhone 12 only started with 64 gigs of storage, while the iPhone 13 starts with 128 gigs of storage. So if you go to buy a base model iPhone 13, you're going to get it with 128 gigs of storage instead of only 64 gigs, which is what people are really used to with iPhone base models. So that's a pretty good upgrade. Now, the new colors that came out with the iPhone 13, which you saw a little bit earlier in the video, those can be kind of an upgrade depending on if you like the colors or not. But the iPhone 12 also had a pretty good color variety, which I'll put on the screen now. The only downgrade that I would think of when going from the iPhone 12 series to the 13 series is the 13 series is slightly heavier than the 12 series due to the upgraded battery. The iPhone 13 is a better phone for just like overall everyday use because the longer battery life and the more storage by default, and because the slightly improved camera, especially if you're in the dark a lot, that camera's improvement's gonna help.
From closing, so I'll hit replay.
So was the iPhone 13 series really a revolutionary upgrade? That's for you guys to decide, but I think yes, it was a big upgrade. It's definitely worth it. It was a big innovation on Apple's part. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and until the next one.